Hi everyone and welcome to DisplayRepair.com. Do you have problems with the heating in your car? Well, if the car heater is not blowing hot air like it's supposed to, or the air is just warmish, then this video should help. We'll show you some common reasons for this problem that may perhaps help in solving it. So stay tuned. DisplayRepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website DisplayRepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips. One way of surely knowing that you have a problem with the heating system is when the engine reaches working temperature, you turn on the heating, and the air coming out of the vents is only warm or completely cold. When everything works properly, warm air should start flowing out of the vents as soon as the engine starts to warm up, and the heating should work at full capacity once the engine reaches full working temperature. With gasoline engines, also known as petrol engines, this happens faster, and with diesels, they reach this temperature a bit slower. Besides the lack of hot air, there may also be problems with the airflow in the ventilation system, there may be problems with the coolant system, fan problems, but more on that later in the video. The first reason for the heating not working is a low coolant level. Check if there is enough coolant in the system. If there isn't, add some so the level is between minimum and maximum. If you experience frequent loss of coolant together with a car heating problem, check the whole coolant system for leaks, especially the heater core and the connections to it, the hoses and clamps. A bad or clogged heater core is probably the most common cause of heating problems in a car. The heater core is the main part of the whole heating system in your car, and if it's faulty, forget about heating altogether. A common telltale sign of this problem is a smaller and eventually bigger puddle of coolant in the footwell of the car. If you suspect or conclude that this is the reason why the car heating is not working, watch our video about the heater core problem, where the whole topic is explained in much more detail. Click on the card in the corner of the video or on the link in the description. One more part worth checking is the heater core valve. This valve regulates the flow of coolant through the heater core. To put it simply, it's a faucet on the heater core controlled by the switch on the climate control panel. The heater core valve can get jammed, broken, or can leak. When it's not working properly, it can block or weaken the coolant flow to the heater core, and the heating will be weak or it will not work at all. Also, there might be present a constant loss of coolant. A bad or stuck thermostat is one more very common problem. A faulty thermostat affects the coolant flow within the engine and therefore the car heating. When there is a problem with weak or non-existent heating, the thermostat is probably stuck in the open position for some reason, and the engine can't achieve working temperature. No engine temperature means no heating. One more reason that affects the engine temperature and therefore the heating is a poorly vented coolant system. Poorly vented, of course, means that there is a lot of air left within the whole coolant system. Air may get inside for various reasons, the most common being a recent coolant change, perhaps a loose coolant bottle cap, or else. Also, if the system isn't vented properly, there may also be a constant overheating present. If you sense warm air gently coming out of the vents, you hear the ventilation fan working but there isn't a strong blow coming from the vents, you should first check the cabin filter, also known as the pollen filter. A clogged cabin filter will weaken or in worst cases completely jam the airflow in the ventilation system. Simply, there might be enough hot air produced, but it can't reach the passenger cabin. Especially check the filter if you haven't replaced it recently. Click on the card in the corner or on the link in the description if you want to see how to change a cabin filter by yourself. If you can't turn on or off or you can't regulate the heating at all, if you have manual climate control and the switch turns oddly or very easy, if you can't turn on the fan at all, if you can't regulate the airflow at all, you should perhaps check the climate controls. With manual climate control, the problem is usually the physical connection between the control switch and the heater core valve, maybe a broken cable or connector, bracket, or else. On automatic climate controls, it may be something with the electronics, actuators, or else. If you turn on the switch and the blower isn't working at all, or it's working slowly, you should check it out. Hot air without a blower to push it is more or less useless. In this case, you should check the fuses first. If that's okay, then try to get to the blower motor and check if there's electrical input to it, if the fan spins properly, and so on. From personal experience, the most common reasons why the car heater is not blowing hot air is a bad or clogged heater core, a bad heater core valve, and a jammed thermostat. Know that most of these are accompanied by other telltale signs which point to the problem, like the engine not being able to reach working temperature all the time, overheating, constant loss of coolant, and other. So, paying attention while driving and making regular checkups may warn you on time that you have a problem. One more tip for the end: when you have the chance, turn on the heating a couple of times during the summer season. Lots of problems with the heating system are caused because the system lays dormant for months during summer. This may lead to scale buildup within the system and then to clogs, which then lead to leaks and other more serious damages. Also, by doing this, you may perhaps spot the problem sooner and on time, and even more important, during the summer season when it's much more convenient to solve this problem. So that's it for this time. We hope the video helps. Please like and subscribe, it's a huge help for what we're doing. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.